Hecklers.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan. Waiting for 7 o'clock. Oh, and now here it is. Thank you, Dan. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the July workshop meeting of your Board of Trustees. To honor our nation's heroes, and especially to honor the women and men in uniform who serve and protect our community, please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk Fitzgerald, may we have the roll call, please?
Certainly, President Gallagher. Trustee Hansen?
Here.
Trustee Timmick?
Here.
Trustee Allen?
Here.
Trustee Rudolph?
Here.
Trustee Sifferman?
Here.
Trustee Tyrrell?
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Having read the agenda, does any trustee have any additions or deletions to tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to citizens' comments. This is the portion of the meeting that we open the meeting up to the public in case they want to address the board. Is there anyone in the audience tonight who wishes to address the board? No? Hearing none, we'll move on now to our committee reports. First up, Public Works and Water, Trustee Allen.
Thank you, President Gallagher. In your packet was a memo from Casey Bernanke, Municipal Services Coordinator, for an engineering proposal for inspection engineering for the 2018 roadway program from James A. Bennis. We talked about the proposal in our Public Works and Water Committee meeting earlier this evening, and we are recommending that move forward to the omnibus in 2 weeks. But just to kind of back up a little bit, James A. Bennis did the design engineering for the 2018 roadway project. As you may recall, we voted on that in the first quarter. That was about $130,000 or so, so that's actually designing the roadway program. We then went out and got the bids, and the bids came back, and we're getting very close to starting construction on the roadway program. That's, again, Johnson and Lawn Avenue for this year. This is for inspection engineering, so this is what will be monitoring the performance of the contractor. And it's partly some of the work that, quite frankly, Casey from the village would be doing, but in the good news report that he and his wife did have a baby girl, Haley, on July 1st. So that is a not to exceed amount. But we did have one follow-up question that we have for the village attorney on that, and it has to do with the indemnification contract language in the proposal from James A. Bennis. And we just wanted to make sure that that is adequately protects the village from all liabilities and things like that for the inspection services and just for the overall project to make sure that the any liability between the contractor and the engineer is properly apportioned and the village is protected.
And I will take a look at that and report at the next meeting. If anything needs to be tweaked or changed, I'll provide you with language ahead of the meeting. If not, it'll go as is.
Okay, thank you. Yep. And then just a quick update. Director Supert handed us a draft. I will reiterate that it is a draft from the Illinois EPA, that our projects are on the draft list, which is the well number 5 water main and the transmission line for well number 5, as well as the Garden Market standpipe and also the Clausen water main. So that's good news that these are actually listed on the draft plan. To continue, unless there's any questions, that would conclude my report for this evening.
Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you very much, Trustee Allen. Moving on to Properties and Rec, Trustee Hansen.
Thank you, President Gallagher. No report tonight.
Thank you. Moving on to Finance, Trustee Rudolph.
Thank you, President Gallagher. Also no report tonight.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Health and Safety, Trustee Sifferman, do you have a report for us?
Yes, I do.
No.
Thank you, President Gallagher. There are 2 items I'd like to call to our attention here this evening. The first item is referenced in your packet concerning an amendment to the ordinance, Chapter 6 of the Western Springs Municipal Code. that amends the fire code to include a section for a fee for reinspection. We've considered this at the Public Health and Safety Committee. We also discussed this in our last meeting, and I'm just making sure that we are cognizant of this, and we're going to advance this to the omnibus bill at our second July meeting in 2 weeks. So I just wanted to make, any questions related to this?
No.
Okay. The second item under other, I would like to call our attention and the audience attention to a crime alert that Chief Buds issued today concerning 5 car burglaries that occurred early this morning between midnight and 1 a.m. in our own backyard here, within 3 wood of this building. At least when I was good, it was a 3 wood. But, you know, these all involved cars that were unlocked. And the property recovered and extends from, you know, cords, electronic cords, to wallets, to items that change. And these are matters and crimes that can be foiled by care that we all give to maintaining safe and secure property. There's no question that the wealth of our community is well known among many communities, but also the criminal community, as well as the opportunities that exist because of the lack of care that is provided by all of us in terms of locking these vehicles. So I would just call attention to this crime alert. The vigilance of Chief Buds and the police department are right on point, and make sure that we all take note of the warning. So.
Thank you, Trustee Sifferman. It's true, these are crimes of opportunity for the most part. These are unlocked cars, and so as much as we can get the message out to residents to please lock your cars if they're in your driveways, in the street, and then hopefully we'll have a safer community for everyone, and people who come through our community looking for easy targets may just pass us by. So thank you for that reminder, and we'll put that ordinance on the omnibus for our next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Timmick, General Government.
Thank you, President Gallagher. Just 2 items, and they're both items that we've discussed in previous meetings. In the packet were the ordinances for first covering the small wireless facilities ordinance, where we'd be amending the village code to adapt to the new federal requirements, allowing the telephone companies access as they're expanding and updating their networks. So that ordinance was in there for everyone to review. And then the second one was relative to the Rose and Garden activities relative to the water service. Again, we talked about these in a couple meetings as recently as even the last meeting. And assuming there are no questions or concerns, these would also be dealt with in an upcoming voting session.
In the next, in the omnibus,
yes.
in July. Any questions for Trustee Timmick? Thank you.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Timmick. Moving on to Planning and Zoning, Trustee Terrell.
I just have a quick update on Foxford. This isn't in your packets because we just got it out. Work at Foxford continues with the construction of the steel structure, interior walls, stairwells, ceilings, and masonry work. Weather permitting, construction of the steel framing should take approximately 12 to 14 days per floor. A small portion of the commuter parking along Burlington Avenue will continue to be closed at various times from now until July 27th. These closures allow for the placement of the crane. It's been lifting the steel into place. The street will be reopened each evening for traffic. I think it's been running fairly smoothly so far. Significant changes to the street closings, if they're needed, will be on the village's website and Facebook page. That's all I'd have.
Thank you. You said July through July 27th.
July 27th. It says June 27th in my manual, but we're past that, so it must be July. Is that about right, Marty? July 27th? Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. You haven't had any complaints, Marty, on that? Good.
Are they giving any indication on when they'll be finished?
With the entire building?
Yeah.
Not yet, not yet. I think it all depends on how fast they get the structure up that we're describing. And from there, it's the interior finishes. So, I mean, obviously it'll be 2019 sometime, but not yet. They've got a new construction project calendar supposed to come out sometime this week or next. So we'll keep you updated.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you, Trustee Terrell. Moving on, any other business any trustee wishes to address tonight? No. Then I'll move on to my report. In your packets were the resumes of our current Board of Fire and Police Commissioners, Marcia Buell as our chair, Janet Dahl, and James Maragos. All three have been trustees in the past, and they have served on the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners for the past 3 years. They're all up for re-election, and they all have graciously agreed to serve again, a reappointment. So I intend to reappoint them at our next meeting or potentially the meeting in August, unless any trustee has any objection. Okay, thank you. Then I just have a couple of updates with regard to construction. The bridge connecting Hinsdale and Western Springs over 47th Street starts construction repairs basically July 11th. My understanding is this is not major reconstruction, but just things to get the bridge sound so that they can continue with the the tollway expansion project. Director Super, do you have anything additional to add to that?
No, you pretty much summed it up well.
Okay, thank you. Also, I'd like to remind residents that we will be hosting an open house with the tollway on July 16th. That's next Monday from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at LTH South, Lyons Township High School South Campus. Tollway staff will present a general overview of the project in general, but we would like to pay special attention to the BNSF bridge reconstruction project and its impact on our residents, our downtown, Spring Rock Park. So that will be next Monday. Following the presentation, the tollway staff will address comments and questions from the public. So I hope you can attend. And then the update on the BNSF bridge will be coming out in the Tower Topics, this issue of the Tower Topics, which will be in your mailbox this week. There is also, for current information, you can log on to our website at wsprings.com /294 for real-time updates, and we will post there as we have updates to put on the website. And that concludes my report. Chief Kenny, it's nice to see you here this morning, this evening, and the dais.
Thank you.
And,
it's nice to be up here.
Yeah. So here in your other role as Deputy Village Manager, do you have a report this evening?
I have a 45-minute, no, I'm kidding. No, I do not. I do not have any report. I would just like to mention, and just to reiterate to our citizens, we are still campaigning to add paid-on-call members. You'll see the banners out in front of both stations now. Actually, tomorrow we're going to be filming an educational video that we'll be putting out on Facebook and to try and draw more people, because our orientation will be the end of August. So, so far we've had some real positive feedback from that, so we're very happy about that. So we're going to keep pushing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you get many people to turn out for that.
Thank you.
Village Attorney Drusen.
No report tonight.
Thank you. In that case, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we stand adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that a record?
Very close.
It's close.
It's close.
Quick
Record.
You start wanting me to sit up here more often. That's what